Welcome to Albion TV presents the AO Daily Show, your source of real news in an unreal world. Keeping you up to date on the latest news, events, and the great community of Albion Online. Today is Monday, the 30th of September, and I am your host, Shozen, and with me today is my co-host, Bogul. How are you doing today, Bogul?
Good morning. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I am doing great, and I just realized that my global chat is way too large for the screen that I am using, like the little image I'm using to block it. So I think people were giving their shout outs to Twitch chat. Hi, Twitch chat. I'm doing great, though. Other than that, I'm doing great. It's been a fantastic weekend. We had an amazing Invasion Day. NA was not terrible. Did I just say that? Did I just say that, Bogle? I did. NA was actually not boring. It had content. We did stuff. We watched stuff happen. It was kind of amazing.
Nice. I was there for the EU reset. I sort of hang out in the back office trying to get you guys some intel. So I saw the EU reset portion.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be what happened to after that, because at first it seemed like we had this huge prediction that was going to happen during this reset day, and it didn't quite come through. Is it a good time to start with that part of the show, or do you want to?
Well, I mean, I kind of want to do that as we go into that part. Like, you know, I want to go through each day first, but I will say this: there was a completely new tactic on the field of battle this week. We saw things were very, very different. We thought we were going to see a war in Mercia. We saw a war, but it was not in Mercia. But let's move on to the notes. On Monday, what we like to do is we like to go over the whole week, the entire week for you guys. That's what we do here. And first things first, Bogle, we're going to go through the official news. We have a PSA, right? That was the Percival 6 patch?
Yes, that was last week on Wednesday, actually. So we have the patch 6 that was a few little fixes to a bunch of small things that didn't quite make it through the patch 5, the big one that happened 2 weeks ago. The link to the patch notes you can see in Twitch chat now. If you haven't seen it yet, it's just a minor patch, but it was that from last week. We have a bunch of other news that I find more interesting than this tiny patch from last week.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Specifically, on Monday, there were two big things. One is a regular thing that happens every 4 weeks. The land auctions ended, and a bunch of the building plots were sold in the various cities, including Carleon. And it turned the whole city of Carleon upside down. I feel like we have seen a super low tax situation in Carleon for the longest time already, but now the new bidding system finally took a real effect where people had to bid as much as they think their income will be, at least roughly. And that caused a very different situation than we saw just 2 months ago. So that's good for everybody who is not owning a plot in Carleon, and everybody who did put some money into these plots in Carleon probably lost a little bit of money. Yeah.
I am seeing plots for sale, Bogle, everywhere in town. Some as low as 40 million silver.
Yes.
That is quite a development.
You had to pay double or triple the prices a few months ago still. But we have a new area in Carleon starting, and it's interesting. But that happened on Monday. We also had an announcement on Monday by Clementine about the Wiki Guardians. Do you remember that?
I do. We are looking for more Guardians, aren't we, Bogle? Assistants to help on your wiki. For Bogle, you were the previous wiki master, the wiki Guardian, if you will, the wiki lord, the king of the wiki.
I think the technical term is admin, but I wasn't. Anyhow, the official Albion Online Wiki is a little project that started about a year ago, and recently the great Clementine took over that project, I think full time, and we are still looking for a few people to help out with that. And on Monday, there was the announcement that not only will you get 10,000 gold a month for being a Wiki Guardian, but also 30 days of 30 days of free premium. So if you are knowledgeable about the Albions, if you want to help polish, update, and run an official game wiki, get in touch with Clementine and see if you can't help out there.
Yeah, I think that Clementine's doing a great job. Clemmy is one of the best mods we have. I'm glad she has been promoted to a new position, and I look forward to seeing how this works out. And please, yes, join the Wiki Guardian team. Get your free premium every single month and become a member of the knowledge force of Albion.
Tuesday.
Yeah. What happened on Tuesday?
A dev spotlight, I think. Yes.
Yes. We had the sound. The lady who's done the new sounds for all of Albion's creatures and NPCs and the combat, changing all of them. Marie Haberman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yes.
She has done a fantastic job. You know, there are no peas in Albion, only beans. Thank you, Marie, for telling us this and informing us. Yeah, the horrible sounds that we had to endure during beta of the are gone. Do you remember that noise, Bogul? That was a pretty good impression, right?
Oh my god.
It brought back memories. It brought back memories, didn't it? It was like, wow, that's pretty much it. That's like the I think it's pretty accurate. But they are much better now. The game has improved. Maybe right now you can't hear that because all you can hear are the people just running around on their horses behind me. Maybe not the best sound to showcase while I'm trying to talk about the awesome sounds of Albion. But now all of our tiers of weapons literally have different noises when they hit you with auto attacks, which is kind of cool. Didn't know this, but I did notice the changes to the NPCs. They are a lot more talkative. They have a lot more flavor to them, and things have just been getting better as far as the audio in this game for quite a while. And we needed it because I felt like we had those placeholders for freaking ever. And they were brutal for us.
Yes, and so on Tuesday we had that nice interview with her released, and I posted it in Twitch chat as well. If you want to take a read, it's definitely worth it. And there are a few videos as well where you can check out some of the sounds. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now we already talked about what happened on Wednesday, which was the patch. We had the hot fix. Really, it's the Percival patch 6. It was just a fix for the mid-season patch 5, like just fixing those things. So that occurred, but we also had a little bit of something else occur. We got to see an interesting image.
Oh yes, on Reddit there was a leak of what turned out to be a new mount skin, the Occult Cougar. We did some digging, some research, and we got a better image sent to us by SBI, and we were speculating what this would be, what this image is. Do we know now?
I do. It's both good news and bad news, and I kind of got to give you the bad news first. It's a referral mount.
Okay.
Good news is we're going to be trying something out new with the referral mounts for a month. For at least now, you only need one.
Wait. So instead of that, let me see what
more than
that
one
tome thing.
Yeah. You get one referral gets you the mount.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So that I think is a huge improvement for the people who want to get that in any way they need to go about doing it. I think you'll just figure it out yourselves and go get one friend to try out Albion with you.
Wait, you said they are testing something? Is that just I mean, I'm assuming there will be, since it's the last day of the month today, the 30th, I'm assuming tomorrow they will just have that announcement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With more details,
yeah. But you heard it here first.
Can you show the image again?
Showing the image again. Yeah, I can do that. I wanted to dance. I just haven't danced in a while. Yeah. Okay. I believe you can actually... I don't know if it's already in-game.
I mean, yes, if you go to the marketplace, you can look at this in game.
I don't think you have to go to the marketplace. I think you can go right to skins, if I'm correct, and go down. Yeah, you can go look at it right here in game, in your skins, and just go check it out in the mount skin preview and check it out for yourself. Yeah, we did have a nice little zoomed in close up of it, but I think it looks just better when it's in motion because so much of it is this flowing mist that when you do kind of like freeze it, it doesn't quite look as good. But moving, this thing looks awesome. Like it's got, I don't know if that's a mohawk of smoke or what, but it looks like it, and I'm down.
I mean, if you look at it from, the sort of bottom up perspective, doesn't it look like a fat sea cucumber to you? That's kind of weird with no neck.
Bogul. I thought we weren't going to talk about the sea cucumber.
Oh. Whoops.
I like it like this. I think it looks great like this. When it's in motion, it looks awesome. I think that picking on it and just over, if you want to find something about any of the images in Albion, zoom into them real close. You'll be able to give them crap because I mean these are, they're polygonal. It's designed so that we can have several hundred of these on the screen at once. And I think it looks pretty darn good with the see-through effect and the smoke, and I think it just looks awesome. And
of course, everybody knows that selfie effect. If you hold the camera below your chin, you suddenly look like a walrus.
Don't show your waddle. Is like the goal, right? Is like like if you have two chins, hide one by looking down. No, 100% Bogul. I think you're right on this one. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go get a friend so I can recommend one to play this game. I think that's going to be the hard part for me is
finding a friend first.
Finding a friend. I'm going to have to go use a friend finder somewhere. So let's move on to Thursday where it was Market Watch Thursday because we are eating up time real quick here and we want to talk about what happened on Invasion Day. Gold spiked on Thursday. We saw it. It went to 39.20, right? That's a lot. Yeah. And then today it went up to 4,020. Yeah, 4,023.
Today I think, or maybe tonight was the first day it spiked above 4K.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening. Nobody knows where this will go, but today is the day.
Yeah.
Interesting.
My prediction is going to come true, Bogul. But we did also, on this topic of the inflated gold price, we did hear directly from the devs on this topic. They are aware of the inflation of gold. They are looking at ways of dealing with this, and I would not be surprised if my other prediction of they're not going to touch this until the new patch comes out was wrong.
Really?
I would not be surprised. I still think that it's very likely that they're just telling us that they're aware, and this new patch, which is the biggest patch in Albion's history, which is going to have more content than we've ever had released in a single patch. Yes, that's bigger than Beta 1. Yeah, it's going to have... It's bigger. It's bigger than anything we've ever had happen ever. More content, more changes, new map. I can't even... I literally can't tell you about all the changes going into this new patch.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous here.
You're like, Shozen, shut up, Shozen. Be excited.
We're supposed
be
to
excited.
tell everybody that everybody is busy, man.
Yeah, our job is to tell you guys that they're busy. It's the most stuff they've ever done, and they plan on getting it out by the end of the year, and they have a date that it needs to get done by, and if not, you'll see it later. Right? But it's like almost guaranteed that it's coming this year. Like they're like pretty darn freaking sure. They have a few huge hurdles to leap over, and they look like they've got a nice run.
I think the internal things that will happen there will happen over the next month or so.
Yeah, we'll know.
Yeah,
we'll know.
So right now everything's still
good,
not set in stone, and yeah. Let's not talk about this because we might run into saying things that aren't exactly
allowed
100%. And I can imagine Elsa sitting in his chair going,
I'm sure Elsa just had like you were like going Shozen. Elsa was probably like getting ready to hit the disconnect button. He's like, like over in LA where they have the disconnect button. Nope. We're not seeing it here. Tape delayed New York. Pound. We're not watching this. You're getting jokes about eggs. And then they would have Bling come on for the next 40 minutes and give jokes about eggs. All right.
One more day.
One more day on Friday.
Yeah.
On Friday, we got to listen to a pretty good interview with Airship Enoch and Zach, the creators of Judy Boot This, and we got to hear a little bit on, how do we say this, like the impetus for the creation and the artistic process of it. Like, they told us how they went about creating the song, where they came from, what their skills are. It's a pretty good interview, and I think that if you like Judy Boot This, you should go and listen to the interview. Also, it sounds like we will be getting more music from these guys, and I'm looking forward to that very, very much.
We even had Airship Enoch being live in-game on stream and chatting out a little bit. So it was a very nice thing for him to come online, say hello, and hang out for a bit.
Yeah, you can, if you listen to the interview, you can read chat from Twitch as well, and actually see him communicating with chat and actually answering additional questions. So good stuff.
Yes. There. And is that it for the week?
Yeah, that was the week.
On news?
Well,
wow.
No, not really, because there's stuff we're going to talk about that happened during last week, and we can get to that right now. Last week, first off, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, yes, that Grand Duchy, was under assault all week by Blackout. They were sieging that home plot over in Dunfjörg like you wouldn't believe. They wanted in. They were knocking on the doors. It was a serious event. But they've been able to, on 2 occasions now, defend off a final shield battle. And right now, they have 2 shields, and they have another fight tonight. So this siege of the Dunfjörg is not over, and the Grand Duchy of Lithuania is going to have to delve deep into their pockets and continue to fund those mercs who've been doing a pretty darn good job without any shields left.
Did they get any of their own mercs, or is it themselves defending their home?
Okay. When they had more than 1 shield, they were defending themselves. Like, they defended on 3 shields, they defended on 2, and they lost.
Oh.
And then they hired mercs, and the mercs had one of the greatest back cap victories you'll ever see, and we will probably show that tomorrow. I definitely want to show that fight on air at some point with commentary, because it was a damn good match up. Then we had the big story of the week. The big story of the week. Let's pull up the season rankings, Bogul. Money Guild are runaway.
Still in first place.
They're still in first place. Way in first place. They still have 38,000, almost 39,000 points on their opponent. The big news is that they had something like 60 before. They were up 60 when this week began. 60,000 when this week began, they were up. Now they're up 40,000. After 1 week of heavy competition by the Big Daddy Coalition, which is basically everybody. Like, not everybody. I mean, Arch is still Arch. Arch is still definitely 11,000 goobers doing their own thing. And if you saw Invasion Day and watched them face off against Blue Army, you can see the difference between numbers and skill. It was amazing.
Oh. That sounds like it would be not the greatest experience from Arch in that moment. But if you say it was amazing, then I can only imagine wanting to look forward to that stream, I guess.
It was good. Now, 2 things. One, on Invasion Day, it was quite a battle of the Oops Alliance versus the Daddy Alliance all over the world. Now, Arch became heavily involved in this, as we saw a lot of Arch facing everybody. They fought everybody. They fought. I'm gonna go. We're gonna talk about Arch first, because I want to talk about how the largest alliance in the game fared, and they took back Archghanistan very well. And this is what they were doing. They were spending their time taking Archghanistan, and they got it. They did a great job. They took the whole thing, and it was contested. There were other people around. We saw them. People were fighting in Torrid basically all night. It was very exciting. If I popped around during, I believe it was the NA section, if I popped around during it, I would just, if I went to King Mojo, at any time, you could just guarantee they were fighting Arch. And it was just constant, and it was enjoyable. They just consistently had content all night. And I want to give mad props to Arch for showing up all night, taking their Archganistan, doing their job, and keeping their 10,000 players where they're supposed to be.
Nice.
Yes,
okay.
in the land of Archnon. The big winners, though. The big winners. And if you're looking at the map, Bogul, you should look at what the rest of Siluria looks like other than Archganistan.
I can't say it's zoomed out.
You can see it. It says Siluria right on the screen. And
I mean, it's yellow.
Yeah, well, if you zoom in, you know that yellow means June.
Okay.
Now, this was not all taken by June. This was taken by the entirety of the Daddy Alliance. The entirety of the Daddy Alliance worked and then immediately flipped their territories. Because what we were seeing was that Oops was immediately declaring attacks. Immediately attacks on the June Alliance towers before June could get them in their hands in an attempt to get them to flip. And I think one of the towers did that. So, well done by Money Guild knowing the rules of the game and getting in on it quick. Now, Money Guild was everywhere. They were not just over here where you would expect them to be, over here in Mercia, which looks rather unread. They were up in June territory, attempting to take towers, high-level towers. They did not aim after their own towers over in Mercia. Instead, they aimed after June's high-level towers and took some. They actually were able to take a high-level, I think it was Craycurse might have been it. No, that's not it. That's just it's a castle tower. Shoot, I cannot. I can't find the one.
So but that's something we hadn't seen before as a strategy, correct? So
right.
Spending your ZVZ force projection during the invasion day to try and snipe the highest level towers of your opponent. That sounds like you need like a few weeks of gathering intel, figuring out. Oh wait, actually, I think you can see it on the kill board. But figuring out where your opponent has his highest towers and then strategically picking these off. Wow. Okay. They
did a good job. I think that, yes, now here's the thing. And when I say they did a good job, it was a good job with their strategy because in the process, they basically gave up Mercia. Now, from what I've heard, and this is unconfirmed, yet sounds too right to be wrong, and that's kind of weird, but it sounds like raiding mages is way more profitable than defending your own mages. And that by simply allowing your enemy to come in and take your towers and letting them get mages and taking them, you're actually gaining points and doing a good job. You want to take the towers that you're going to be able to defend, raise them up into high-level towers to get high-level crystals, and then fight for them from there, and then use the rest of the opponent's mages as ways to get yourself points. Now, I do see lots of towers where Money Guild is attacking June, so I don't know how much that information is viable. I know that their strategy was to take June's high-level towers, and they did a job of that, but they also just lost all of Mercia. Like,
I thought we expected a big fight for Mercia when we looked at our predictions for that last Friday or Thursday. So I'm surprised as, that obviously didn't come true. But wow, I didn't expect that complete different approach there.
Yeah, now I'm hearing, like, in chat, if you read chat right now, you have two very different opinions. One, they lost Mercy on purpose. And two, they just sucked at being able to hold ZVZs. Now, I gotta tell you, I honestly believe that this was on purpose because TC wasn't here. TC was over in the Royals, which they took. They took the Royals, and now the Royals, I believe, is where Money Guild has a lot of its high-level towers. And so they went and they secured their high-level towers, and they took... they took a lot of it. Royals looks like theirs.
Almost a whole thing. Yeah. Wow.
A significant chunk, we'll say. We can't say the whole thing.
Right. Of course.
We can say a significant chunk. Just as you can't say that Mercia went to Daddy, but a significant chunk of it did. But you know what went to one alliance?
Went to one alliance. I'm guessing all of
Glauvia.
Again to Sauce?
Holy crap! Yeah. Did Sauce take Glauvia? It's like I think there's maybe 4 or 5 towers that didn't fall to Sauce over that actually are in Glauvia, and they went to like the edge on June. It is incredibly impressive how much they took. I've got to say that it feels like there's no real competition in Glauvia for them. And that's what the issue is. In Anglia, they had competition, and Anglia is a quilt. Anglia is a quilt. It really is. You see many, many different groups having got involved, and it's going to be interesting to see how long Phono can hold its territories. We saw them kind of getting pushed out towards the end of the season. I want to see what they're able to do. We saw Ego, real quick, do much better than I expected them to do. Way better than I expected them. They had gotten pushed back. They were consolidated. We kind of heard that Ego was falling apart, that there was rumors of them going to other games. There was all this very bad propaganda surrounding Ego. Ego did good. Ego went out in force, took a crap ton of crap. Like, they doubled their territory.
Good to hear. We sort of got worried about the stability and future of Ego, but them coming back so strong sounds like some good news. Yeah.
Yeah, and they took their stuff largely from NASA. Not another
Really?
super alliance. Yeah. If you look over here from Lomdel and stuff, NASA, I don't know what happened. They seem to have gotten some attacks by some other guilds here that we aren't familiar with. Victi, Omens, I don't know them.
Well, now you do.
Yeah, I've never heard of them, and they showed up and they balled. They took some stuff. Well done. So nice. It'll be interesting. I don't see Fricks having done much. So, that's the Holy Hand Grenade, not the Fricks. All right. But yeah, Anglia in general is a much more colorful area. It's probably the most contested area we had on the map. I tried to find content all day on Anglia, bouncing around, and could never actually find anybody fighting. And it really irritated the crap out of me.
I saw on Reddit somebody posting, hey, somebody said there were no fights in Anglia, and then there's this whole 5-minute ZVZ compilation of guys fighting ZVZs in Anglia.
Yeah. No, I know that it's happening. Let's be real super clear here. I know that it's happening. But it's not as easy to follow them, because with these super mega alliances, I can follow 2 forces and wait until they smash heads. Like, I can generally, like, I have learned over the time, yes, Shozen has learned something, the migration of ZVZ teams over time and where they're going to end up in, like, 20 minutes. With Anglia and trying to bounce around to each zone, just looking for bubbles and trying to find out where these T2 and T3 bubbles are going to be moving to, is absolutely just a nightmare and very, 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 very hard to do.
Maybe we need some sort of heat map for the future.
If we had a heat map that would just tell me where the action was, like it would just pop to me, oh my god, like if I had live access to the kills that came in, oh my god. Oh, come on, please, Bogul, Bogul, you got to stop doing this. You're making me hot and heavy here. You're going to make me sweat it out. Whew. I'm getting the vapors.
We had this idea of kill location on the kill board a while back, but that was taken out because it was too easy to just make a bot to get almost live intel of attacks where your guild members are in trouble. And since then that got taken out. So I think that's not super possible for live. Maybe for GM tools, but that's like
maybe the GM tools. Maybe we can ask for added GM tools. I think that would be awesome, especially with the game moving into more and more ZVZ. this might be more and more necessary for us as the viewers of the game, because we're going to be changing the way that the game is watched. Largely, it's going to definitely change. So that would be amazing. People are asking me what CIR did. Now, I know that CIR actually took something, and I don't know where it is. But I know that their alliance did show up. It showed up, guys. The CIR alliance showed up. I don't see actually CIR itself. I know they did, because I was told they did. And I've been told they're recruiting, and they're not as dead as I said. But until I see them on the map, their allies aren't dead.
How about we finish off the show with looking at the current ranking? We made this little chart. How about we show that compared to last week, and then get out of here because we're 30 minutes in?
Yeah. What we'll do, guys, for those who are wondering, we're not actually going to have an overtime today. I'm going to play the interview from last week again. And we will be hanging out during that interview where you can probably poke us and chat with us a little bit. But I'm going to give away a few gold codes because I didn't get the gold codes open before the show. There will be gold codes during the interview. I'll probably give away 2 or 3 of them, maybe 4.
Okay, let's show the as a final thing today the rankings.
I'm popping them up. Here we go.
Okay.
Do you want the rankings or the season points?
Well, the 2 little things we have. That
all right, I got it.
All
right, here's this week's, and I'll pop up last week's as well.
Need to make them big so people can actually see stuff.
Well, first I have to get them both on the screen, and then it's a nightmare, Bogul. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
So I'll just mention a few things that happened in the last week. In terms of the season rankings, we see in the first 6 spots, everything stayed the same in terms of ranking position. We saw Guero's climbing up from 8th to 7th place, and KFC climbing up from 10th to 9th place, and Crimson Imperium Reborn showing up in the top 19. We also saw the continuation of the effort of June and Money Guild to push points, which is the big thing that we will probably going to see for the rest of the season. Those 2 giants competing for first place, with June trying to get first and deny Money Guild that 3rd gem in the crown. We saw, in terms of point difference, the gap between 2nd and 3rd place between June and Black Auto widening. It's incredible how many points difference there is between the first 2 and the 3rd and the rest of the guilds. And we saw the difference between June and Money Guild shrinking slightly. So June seems to be catching up to Money Guild in the first place. And you said something about maybe a week or so, because
we're double
if
point.
that pace continues?
Right now, if you go just over Invasion weekend, Money Guild actually made back points.
Oh, I see.
All right, Money Guild had actually June had closed the gap even closer than it is today over the weekend. Well, no, over the week, and then on the weekend, Money Guild kind of like got some points, because I honestly think this strategy with the mages is going to work. I think there's a real chance it's going to work. I don't know. I think that's their last gasp, really, is to try this, and it's one Derek has a mastery over the game system that nobody else in this game does. He understands it at a level that is very, very impressive, whether it's his ability to deny GVGs, his ability to use the counterattack and retail system, his when he was able to simply block GVGs back in the day by declaring, when it was the methods were a little bit more convoluted as to where you could attack from where, and you were locked in an area. He was the first one to master that. He's very, very good at understanding the mechanics of this game, and if they have a chance to win, it's because he's once again figured it out on how to do it. And if he does it like this and it works, you have to give him credit. But if we see a progression as to what was over the last week, and we see another week with double points, if they were to get the same percentage of increase on their opponent right now, they would get it this week. They would pass them this week. Now, that is insane. Now I don't know if that's possible. I really don't know if it's possible because of the changes to the mages right now. Like, well, June was getting so many of its points from raiding mages. Like that's where they were getting the bulk of their points. So like now, like they have so many territories, they're gonna have to go to places where they're locked out of to mage raid. Or they're gonna have to mage raid on alts. Like this was a really good strategy. Like when you think about it, like with the territory locking, say, okay, June, you wanna have access to Money Guild's territories? You got them. They're yours. Good luck. You can raid 4 towers. Have fun. And then like the lowest value mages are, if I'm correct, are the Royal Zone mages, right? Those are worth the least amount of points. Those are the ones that Money Guild has now, but they have the same tower that allows them to crystals because still they're high-level crystal tower, and they still get the same points for the crystals, which they're doing the same number as they were before, but just now based out of crystals. I mean, out of the Royals. That might be it. That might have worked. It's very, very smart when it comes to using the tactics of this game, whether you agree with him or not, whether you like him or not, whether you want him to be king or get the 3rd gem or not. The guy knows the shit better than anybody else.
Well, he has how many? Oops and Money Guild have 4 more weeks to prove that they bet on the right strategy. And June has the same amount of time to prove everybody wrong and be the guild to beat Money Guild in a race for first that is unprecedented. So we have a very, very interesting end of the season coming up, when we thought just a few weeks back that this was going to be a sort of passive season almost.
Now it's changing into one of, I can't remember, unless you go all the way back to season 2, because I believe season 2 was decided in the last period. Other than that, I can't think of one where it really came down to the last one, and we were talking about points being important to who's going to win and who's going to get. Bogul, you and I, because I'm reading the questions in chat right now. I do not have these numbers in front of me right now, and I don't want to just say what's on my mind and be wrong. Because I know I'm going to be wrong on some of these numbers that I quote. So I will go and look at what the numbers are for territories. I have it written down somewhere. I'll get the numbers for mages. I will get these. I happen to know a guy named Starseed, who's very, very informed as to how much things are worth, and I'm sure this man can help me figure it out and maybe even make a bar graph. The guy makes bar graphs. Dude. Freaking graphs.
Maybe we should get a bunch of people in here to discuss the worthiness and strategy of the season points generation. At least for the past, because I think the final stretch is still something where information is going to be tight, but
I'm sorry, I have to show this, Bogul. Somebody just mentioned it in chat, and I was like, no, I hadn't seen this yet. I'm gonna have to look at it. Before we go, we're gonna look at one more pile of stats. Are you ready? There was a 135 million kill fame battle last night. 137, sorry, my bad. That's pretty big. Right? Is that big?
Yeah. It's average big, yeah. Why?
It was Oops versus Daddy, and those guys fought. I'm gonna go long and hard. And yeah, it's interesting. I want to see who won this one. We'll have to go look at the 2D and find out.
Huh. Okay. Well, so we sort of figured out what is the current struggle with the rest of the season. We had a great invasion day that went 180 against what we thought it was going to happen. That surprised not only you, but me for sure. And we have a very interesting struggle with a lot of propaganda going back and forth to look forward to for the next 4 weeks, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be... I think it's possible we could have it decided in this next week, and then it gets really interesting. Does Oops continue fighting at the same rate if they get past this week? even though they've done everything they can. Like, because let's be real clear, they're fighting as hard as they can fight right now, and they're losing the points. What would be the next step? And I don't know what it is. Is it really reaching out and trying to, like, just grab some Arch? Derek is
Arch for us for the rest of the season.
rent Sauce. I don't know. I really don't. Like, they have more resources than anybody. There's somebody. If anybody could do it, it would be him. I don't know. It's interesting. It's a very exciting season. I definitely want to see how it goes. But we've already gone on for 40 minutes. We'll be talking about this for the rest of the week. Hopefully for the rest of the month, because it won't get decided in a week, and it'll be a really good contest. I'm looking forward to a good fight for the end of a season for change. And I hope we get it, Bogul. I hope we get it.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
And on that note,
yes.
You can catch us. Yeah. You can catch us Monday through Friday right here at 18 UTC on Albion TV at twitch.tv/Albion Online. I almost messed that one up there. YouTube.com/AlbionTV and SoundCloud.com/AlbionTV. You can also check us out Tuesday through Thursday right here, again, on twitch.tv/Albion Online, where we'll be doing a live coverage of the Crystal and regular GVGs at the 19 and 20 time slots. So do tune into that. We will have Tazik on Tuesdays and Lupak on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we also try to have highlights. We also give away gold for highlights, and during those 3 days, we give away massive amounts of prizes. So do stick around for the entirety of the show. All right, and on that note, Bogul, we're going to get out of here, and as we do, I'm going to change the screen for a moment and then come back, but with the interview from Airship Enoch. So do look forward to that. Stick around if you haven't heard it already. All right. Peace and stay classy, Albion.